As strange as it may sound, this election is shaping up to be one of Catholic truth pitted against atheist lies, draped by communism, of course. Of course, it's always been pretty clear that in the end, the great final battle would always come down to Catholicism versus atheism, the truth versus the lie. Remember that confrontation in John's Gospel between Jesus, our blessed Lord, the truth, and the Pharisees, who he condemned as having the devil as their father because there was no truth in him. Of course, by extension, he means there's no truth in you either. Christ called him a liar and a murderer from the beginning. Well, here we are, the truth versus the lie. If you navigate all around the internet, a major theme is developing. It's the influence of Catholicism popping up in this election. And for the record, we're not talking about the cowardly hierarchy that Stephen mentioned earlier, who've been worse than useless in the war to save civilization. We're talking about the abiding truths of the Christian faith, 2,000 years now and counting, protected by the Holy Spirit, the third person of the Blessed Trinity, and that told to us by the second person of the Blessed Trinity. Both the New York Times and MSN, as you can see right here, two outfits firmly planted in the camp of the lie, recognize their enemy, Catholicism, and they're trying to disparage it. And then there are treatments of not Catholicism per se, but Catholic truth, as in this article published on the Unheard website, The March of Kamala's Brides, Miserable Young Women Are the Democrats' Foot Soldiers. That article, well worth the read, points out the somewhat obvious truth that nearly a quarter of women between 25 and 40 are not married, have no children, and unsurprisingly, a majority of them profess they self-identify as suffering from emotional illness. Nearly a quarter of them. Yet 3/4 of them vote for Democrats. Why are they miserable? Why are they emotionally ill and so filled with rage? Because they have believed the lie and they have forsaken the truth of natural law, propounded by the Catholic Church since Christ personally established it at Caesarea Philippi 2,000 years ago. It's never been more clear what's on the line this election. Politically, in the material order, it's truth versus communism. That's what it is. Communism versus the free world. That's what our opening graphic was. But don't lose sight of the reality that, to an extent, this is a proxy war for the real war. Truth versus the lie. Catholicism versus atheism. They aren't especially religious, but God raises up whoever he wants to proclaim the truth, even if the messengers themselves don't totally get that, like Don and Elon. You know, truth, it's like water. It always finds a way. God love you. I'm Gary Michael Voris.